Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in here before I changed out of my work clothes and talk about a couple of things with you. Um, Initially, I was going to discuss the passing of Rob Reiner, which is absolutely tragic. But it has also come to my attention that the new kids on the block have lost their tour manager, Vic. So I wanted to extend my condolences to the boys, Jonathan, Jordan, Joe, Donnie, and Danny. I'm so sorry for your loss. Um, I love you so much, and I know that after all of the opportunities I've had to come see you, you're well aware of it. But before I did anything, I just wanted to stop and say how much I loved you. I guess it's just a day for grief. I'm so sorry for your loss. This morning, before I was getting ready for work, I read about the tragic passing of the actor and director Rob Reiner. Apparently, it was homicide at the hands of his own son, and Rob Reiner's wife was also killed. And from what the reports say, it has to do with their son having substance abuse issues. And that is just so sad and tragic. I read what happened this morning and I felt honestly like crying, even though I didn't know Rob Reiner. I consider myself a member of Generation X, and not only was he a prolific director, but I think we all know him as Meathead from All in the Family. But even more important than that, he was such an activist for the civil rights of other human beings, and he gave us so much. A bright shining light has left this world, and I just couldn't let the day pass without commenting on it. He's known for a lot of movies of our generation. The Princess Bride with Fred Savage and Robin Wright Penn, Stand By Me, and then Misery. Misery is my favorite of those three films because my auntie and I adore Kathy Bates, and that movie was my Aunt Sandy's accidental introduction to Kathy Bates, because apparently, from what I understand, she thought it was a Christmas movie because of the way that it was originally advertised, and she took one of the other kids in my family to see it without realizing it was a horror flick. But by the time she realized it, they were kind of in the middle of the movie, and she was already hooked on Kathy Bates' acting. Later on, my Aunt Sandy and I bonded over fried green tomatoes, and it was really an amazing experience to go see that movie with her. We sat through it 3 times, and I really needed that example as a child of strong women and the woman who is the underdog and finally stands up for herself. Kathy Bates said, apparently to the press, after finding out what happened to Rob Reiner, that he changed her life. And I've heard her say that Misery was a first-class ticket to Hollywood for her, and that's really what her big break was. And I adore that movie, and I'm just so glad that she had a career because of that. Because if it hadn't been for Misery, we wouldn't have fried green tomatoes the way it was, and we wouldn't have her as Evelyn Couch to really teach little girls like I was, and little girls who grow up in, that kind of a southern family where women are quieted and made to be meek and depend on men. We wouldn't have that. And I know for my auntie and me, fried green tomatoes ended up being life-changing. So I have to go with Kathy when she said she really owes that one to Rob Reiner. And since I am in psychology, it kind of blew me away, because this whole issue with Rob Reiner is because his son was struggling ultimately with mental health and substance abuse. And right now I work with kids with developmental disabilities, but when I first started working, I was helping to practice group therapy with women who were in rehab programs from just this kind of thing, and trying to get their families back in order. I understand what it can really do. And not only did Rob Reiner lose his son to that, but ultimately it ended up taking Rob Reiner and his wife. We lost a bright, shining light because of that. And I just had to say something. And then I had to come on here and talk to the new kids. I just wanted to talk about it and shine some light here. I'm actually going to have a cup of coffee. I'm going to sit down and watch Misery in honor of Rob Reiner. And I just wanted to say hi before I changed out of my work clothes, and I did that. Love you guys. Bye-bye.